Like and subscribe right now, or else this will be in your bed tonight. What do you think is scarier, the idea that we are alone in the universe or the idea that we aren't? Why? Tell me Op, have you read the 3-Body Problem series? I haven't read this, but the description of the dark forest theory sounds a lot like the plot of an earlier book called The Killing Star. The idea being that any race capable of accelerating something to an appreciable percent of light speed is then also able to destroy any planet with almost not warning. Just lob something with enough mass at a planet at a 5% the speed of light and the planet will be devastated with little recourse. So, if you detect another intelligent life form, and you have this capability, you should assume they do too, and destroy them first, since you can't be sure they aren't thinking the same thing. Which leads to a galaxy of species laying low for fear of getting whacked. Yes, I won't spoil too much, but that comes up. There's a chilling sequence in the books where a low-ranking monitoring officer of a super-evolved race of beings on a ship just cruising through space identifies evidence of another civilization, follows their normal protocol, and just casually releases a device to destroy them. It's a simple administrative task. Really stuck with me. Yes, before reading the series, I would think being alone would be scarier. The dark forest theory makes the existence of alien civilizations far scarier. I was cheering on the recommendation the 3-Body Problem series. Sadly, for once my not using sufficient hyperbole meant my seconding the suggestion to Op was lost. How so? I haven't read the series and you can spoil whatever you want to explain. So the author made this point, that with the vast interstellar distances involved, as well as the insurmountable social biological barrier that must exist between two species, there can only exist distrust and fear between two spacifiering entities, with no real chance of establishing any sort of amicable relationship. Thus, Hunters in the Dark Forest becomes the central running theme of the series as it reflects the state of the galaxy and its inhabitants, that we are all essentially entities with an overpowering will to survive, yet with no clear way to judge other parties' intentions and capabilities without compromising our own means of surviving. Just like a bunch of armed people stumbling through the woods in the dark by their own. Therefore, it has become some sort of an unspoken, universal rule among the species of the universe: hide or kill. Neither is scary, because if we are alone, then we have nothing to worry about. If we are not, then the sheer vastness of space is a pretty good indicator that we are not likely to ever make contact with another intelligent species. I find it more depressing knowing that there are so many galaxies and planets out there that there must be billions of strange and exotic places that we'll never see or explore. We are pretty much confined to our own solar system unless we develop a technology to skip across time and space, which is scary to imagine. True, how amazing would it be to planet hop? Forget Europe, I'm vacationing in another galaxy. Hard psychedelic drugs would like to have a word. I think about the ruins of ancient civilizations on other planets, and how absolutely fascinating it would be to explore them. Imagine visiting a planet and the civilization was on par with our ancient Greeks or something similar. That made me immediately think of gay aliens. Behold, gay aliens. That would be amazing. We could be practically alone. Most people have no idea how huge the universe is. We can't even visit the nearest star within a reasonable amount of time. If life is pretty rare, then distances could be so large that we'd never see any other civilizations even if they existed. We think alien life, if it existed, could easily visit us, or vice versa, and that's probably far from true, and that's assuming they could even get to the point of space travel. We are within 70 years of not being able to leave the Earth, and within 100,000 of years of having life on Earth that wouldn't have any ability to do much more than a dog. That we are alone. Given how massive the universe is in space and time, the idea that Earth is the only place where any life form exists is unsettling. Everyone seems to be assuming that other life means humanoid or intelligent. To me it just means any life form, carbon-based or made of element unknown to our galaxy. There has to be something else. Let's imagine the life of a cell. All it knows is that it is surrounded by other cells and a small area which it thinks is its big world. I believe we are like cells to the current imaginable universe in contrast to an even bigger reality. That's how I've looked at it. If you look at the world through this lens, that the size of things doesn't really matter, but how it operates, you can sort of see how the universe is all patterns, all the way down. Size absolutely matters. Physical laws work the same way for microorganisms as larger beings, because the cellular units and molecules are actually the same size. We've seen things as big as they can't get. After that they collapse into singularities, so nothing can be bigger than that. Also, unlike microorganisms, we have the capability to see far enough away to grasp things much larger than us. Is it possible that there is another set of physical laws governing some universe, of which ours is just an atomic particle? Sure, but you can literally just say anything at that point. Cavemen had no idea about whales. Whales had no idea about cavemen. Both existed, but neither believed the other existed, because their minds couldn't comprehend it. There are more stars in the universe than there are all of the grains of sand on Earth. Many of those stars have multiple planets orbiting them. There is life. Distance and the Great Filter are far more terrifying to me. The idea that we are alone, because it would imply that our existence is winning the astronomical lottery and this is all we are trying to do with it. They've had a couple billion years, sir, and the best they could come up with was making memes about a gorilla who was shot. Ugh, not again. Let's scrap it and start over. Take 14,960. What is this negative nonsense? You type that comment on a supercomputer that fits into your pocket. In 30 years we have cut extreme poverty in half and are living in the most peaceful time in history. You can ascend to the heavens on a chair in the sky and be halfway around the world in hours. We've put men on the moon, found time to create amazing music and film. While things aren't perfect, humanity has done amazing feats for starting a slime crawling out of the ocean. The idea that we are alone, it gives me a feeling of loneliness and that there is not as much out there to look for. Existence would not be as interesting. Next best thing is to shoot bacteria into space and hope it hits something, then we will have created aliens. Edit. Oh crap, this blew up. That we are alone. It would give credence to the simulation theory, given the number of stars being circled by planets that we can see from Earth, let alone the rest of the universe. The odds are laughably small that on one of those distant planets the same building blocks didn't exist. This planet is not unique. But simulation theory is the least scary explanation for why we are alone. To me it's actually the most comforting explanation, because it means there exists superior intelligence and it somehow cares about our existence, even if only tangentially. The more scary / depressing explanations are: 1. We are the first. It means we are screwing up a very unlikely opportunity. 2. We are one of many, but the only one right now. It means civilizations like ours are all doomed to collapse, and extinction egg the Great Filter is ahead of us. Edit. Should have made clear I'm ignoring the possibility that we don't know about the others, which is most likely the case. I'm just assuming we are truly alone. Mathematically there should be life. I think it would be far more frightening that we are alone. It would indicate there was something very weird going on. I think the scariest thing is that if an asteroid hit Earth right now and destroyed everything, nothing that we know of will recognize any record of anything that ever happened on Earth. There will be nothing to account for the loss of Earth. So if there's nothing out there to do that, then it's like Earth never existed at all. Scary. Edit. Golden record. Tree falls in woods. Entropy. Got it. Actually we sent out proof of our existence on probes we sent into outer space in the hopes alien life might find them. They have some cool stuff like a star map to Earth and recordings of various humans. So NASA gave the aliens directions to come and invade Earth. Way to go NASA. Way to go /s. Well, the idea that we'll never know. There are lots of paradoxes and problems regarding aliens. If they are there at all, have they developed technology advanced enough to create electromagnetic signals? And if yes, why we haven't seen any signs throughout the visible universe? Our civilization can be easily spotted for everyone in a California 110 Li radio us with radio telescope, and we can't spot anything in billions of light years around. On the other hand, we have animals on Earth, dated hundreds of millions of years, and they haven't evolved into space dwellers. Honestly, it doesn't matter if we are or not alone. We'll never reach to the stars unless we find out how to break laws of physics. Alone. It's theoretically impossible for us to be alone. But if we're the first / last thinking life forms in the universe, that's a depressing thought. Cause that means someday, the last human being will die out, and that will be the end of all progress. Sure, life will go on, but would another species step up and do better than us? Can they? Will they? I guess the not knowing is the worst part of it. Thank you very much for watching. In the comments under the video, write something on this topic, and also do not forget to watch our other videos. Bye.